Ibadan, the largest city in West Africa, is located in the southwestern part of Nigeria. It's defined as a place splashed of gold and rust-brown roofs, flung and scattered among 7 hills. It's classified under the monsoon type of climate with hot, dusty dry season and cold, humid rainy season. The Ogunpa and Uduono are the 2 major rivers draining the city.
Ogunpa River is a major stream, I will say, that passes through Ibadan. It has many tributaries. You know, Ibadan is a city made of 7 hills, and what that also means is that you have about 7 different valleys. But the beauty also is that if a proper road network is done, it's another ring road, internal ring road itself. That is, if you follow the water courses, you can almost do another internal ring road. So it's designed to drain Ibadan very well. And when we have very good sanitation, when we had the woles, these health inspectors, and those who are very strict on dumping anything to the water, there was no flooding from Ogunpa River, I can tell you. But the moment, and also they did something along the banks of Ogunpa River or stream, whatever name we give to it, was that they planted trees that provided shades, and people could also trek between compounds area to area. It was a very pleasant environment. You will see these crabs, small fishes, you see them swimming. It was very exciting to us when we were kids. But again, along the lines, the population was increasing. They pulled out all the trees, and so the absorbing capacity of the trees and even the buildings that started coming up along the river bank increased the runoff. So the river depth was reduced, and also dumping. When you combine both, the water body every year, especially during the rainy season, require more space, and this is what has resulted in flooding.
Ogunpa River is a third-order stream with a channel length of 21.5 kilometers and 73.3 square kilometers, draining the densely populated eastern part of the city.
Ogunpa River is the major river in Ibadan here, and because of lack of awareness of the consequences of, I would say, uneducated human actions, people believe in throwaway culture. Any waste people just throw into the gutter and believing that the flood will carry it away. Our attitude is a throwaway culture, believing out of sight is out of mind. And what does that mean? You see people putting their human waste, they just put it, they believe the flood will carry it away. I mean, the river water and all these things, unfortunately. But then what does it happen? Because the channels have been blocked with refuse and all sorts of things have been dumped there, the water cannot move freely. And where the water, you block the pipe, it must find its course. So the water level in the channels rise, and then they overshoot their bank and start flooding anyway.
The city has two basins which are built up as a result of urbanization process, which is fast replacing the natural vegetation in the basins with artificial paved surfaces, with consequent effect on runoff production and sediment generation.
The impacts of flooding on urbanization, I would say they are threefold. You have structural impact, you have economic impact, as well as health-related impact. The structural impacts comes along with the nature of the buildings, the infrastructure on ground. When you have flooding, you have excess water on land. And if you like, you can say it is excessive volume of water in the wrong place. If, for example, they are located too close to rivers or the channel, then the overflow, the flooding, will take away such buildings. Depending on how they are built, could destroy them completely, could affect the foundation, could cause a lot of problems. So that is a structural effect. And part of the problem too depends on where these buildings are located. If the geology of the area is such that the rocks cannot allow water to permeate, then so water infiltration becomes a problem. So the more you have the rainfall, the water volume rises high, and beyond the embankment, you have serious flooding. So this can cause houses collapsing, foundation collapsing, and people lose properties, lose valuables. So that's the structural side. The economic side, of course, is that when people lose their valuables, imagine the cost of housing is not that cheap. They lose could be vehicles in some cases. Even the flooding can affect transport. Roads get flooded, so it disrupts all economic activities along the path where the flooding is taking place. So that can even worsen poverty for very poor people. And when you look at farming as well, people who farm along the channels and so on and so forth, or you find that access to food becomes a problem. So you can have a food shortage arising from this, poor nutrition, so the poor gets poorer. And that's the economic aspect of it. Furthermore, the health aspect. Where you have flooding, there are usually waterborne diseases that can go along with this, because the flood doesn't know anything